We'll get started here. Welcome to the October 1st, 2020 Hingham Historic Districts Commission meeting. This meeting is being held remotely as an alternate means of public access pursuant to an order issued by the Governor of Massachusetts dated March 12, 2020, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law. You're hereby advised that this meeting and all communications during this meeting may be recorded by the town of Hingham in accordance with the open meeting law. Okay, so just to confirm voting members, I think we've got all 5 appointed voting members and are all in attendance tonight, which is Catherine, Justin, Hans, Carol, and myself. And so with that, are there any conflicts regarding any of the hearings tonight?
No conflict.
Okay. All right, why don't we get started then? The first hearing is 6 Station Street. I know at the prior meeting, we approved the awnings. And so tonight is really focused on the signs on the building. It sounded like originally there were planned to be 3. It's our understanding now that there are 2.
Correct.
There were some things that were submitted indicating the location of the sign, the bracket, and a photo of the existing claw sign. So we should have that information. Everybody should have that information. If you don't, there's the link that came with the meeting invitation where you can find any of that information if you don't have it. So with that, Sevi, is there anything you wanted to start with?
No, as you say, the updated elevations with the 2 signs are shown. There's a primary sign which would be 2'8" by 2'8", parallel to North Street. That would be by the entrance, and then there'd be a secondary sign which would be 4 square feet, 2 by 2 at the edge of the building, as it shows in the elevation, labeled 2. And the bracket that I did submit, Andrea, a bracket that's a fairly contemporary, very simple bracket. We both agreed that the existing sign on the building that the cloth had been in was too ornate and not appropriate. And also, I discussed with Katya the sign on our building from my sign, which is simpler but still was too ornate. So I did forward you an email from Katya, and there's a sign that's not related to the town or to her place of business, but it's a vestige sign, and it's come straight off the building with, I told her structurally you had to have some triangulation at the building to hold it up, to take that moment connection, and to resist wind, you had to suspend it on the long rod, and so it could move with the wind, and there wouldn't be a lot of lateral forces that's going to tear it off the building. So I hope you have that bracket.
Yeah, I sent you, let's see, I sent out the bracket, the silver bracket, and also
it said vestige or vestige, eat and drink.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
I see a copy of it.
Okay, and then also the original sign bracket from the Buttonwood Books,
that is not good. It's
that is not good.
Ornate, curly cues and whatnot, and she didn't like my sign, which is a little more traditional. But this, I think, I told her that structurally she had to have something, as I say, that held the sign up off the building, and then the sign was suspended so it could resist wind forces.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is a sign that would be very appropriate in the building. If you're looking at that, it's very simple,
yeah,
and contemporary.
Okay. And Sevi, the sign itself, sort of the yellow sign, that the material and it's, what is the material?
That's wood. It's painted wood.
Wood, just painted wood. Okay. And flat,
wood.
there's no
Flat,
engraving,
just
no
like
raised
the
letters?
one. That's right, like the one she has currently on her old place of business.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I think that this information is very helpful. I think it's clear to me what you're looking to do there. I guess I would open it up to the commission for any questions or comments. Carol?
What is the material? What is the bracket made out of?
Oh, it's steel. It would be pre-finished steel. It would have to be steel. It's structural.
I'm wondering if in that part of town, the oldest part of town, if wrought iron wouldn't be more appropriate?
Maybe, are you planning to leave that silver, or would you paint it black?
I mean, I think silver is appropriate. That it would be like the trim color, but it'd be black or silver. And frankly, I don't have much information on the material, but I'd like to sort of prove it conditionally on an approvable material rather than go another round. I don't have the spec on the bracket. It's a look, but
Well,
it would have to meet structural. I mean, it could be black, but and maybe it is wrought iron. I really I can't answer that, but we could make it look like wrought iron if it were painted black.
I don't see it anywhere. Do we know the date of this building?
Oh, this is
What
the
building?
this is the brand new 6 Station Street.
This is 6 Station Street.
Okay. But it's in that
It's not in
historic.
the start. Oh, it's in the district, yeah. But it's not a replication historically of anything.
But it's in the historic district.
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead, Hans.
Savi, hey, how are you?
Good, Hans.
Any hardware that's just silver that you can pick up on, or any of the door handles, lanterns, anything silver kind of? I don't know if we went over the window hardware. Is there anything you can pick up on there?
Well, the door handles are brushed steel.
Okay.
So there is a silver. Yeah, I mean, I think silver is appropriate.
Okay.
There's
some
no
silver on
black. The doors are black, but I think this is a detail. This is hardware.
Yeah.
And so if all the hardware were silver, I think that's appropriate.
Okay.
Black doesn't turn me on, you know, stuck there. And I think it'll kind of be more compatible with the sign, which is light as yellow, than if it was a stark black.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep.
It seems pretty simple and straightforward, and it seems appropriate to me.
I would agree. Okay. Any other thoughts from the commission?
I think if I were voting, I'd vote for it. It seems like a, straightforward kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's actually unusual. I mean, I think it's a nice, like the building. It's got its foot in a couple of centuries here, and it does have a little detail in it, and structurally, it's very much like the traditional triangular truss bracket, but it's a little contemporary upgrade from that. So it's I think very appropriate to the way we've handled the building.
Thanks, Abby. Okay, would anybody like to make a motion?
Guess I'll make a motion. And I'd like to make a motion for a certificate of appropriateness for 6 Station Street to mount 2 signs as depicted in drawings submitted, looks like it was September 30th by email, at least for the bracket example, and drawings that I think Andrea could identify in the minutes as accurately as possible. I don't see a date on this particular.
Debbie, what's the date of the drawings?
Well, there is none because it's one of the working drawings. And,
All right, well, let's give it today's date.
Katya did not.
I would say give it today's date. We'll say the drawing shared at today's meeting with annotations for 2 signs on North Street. Sign number 1, primary, 8 square foot sign parallel to the building, 2.8 feet by 2.8 feet. And sign number 2, annotated as the secondary sign, 4 square feet, mounted perpendicular to the building on a sign bracket, as with an example shared by email and a photograph. And the sign is a 2 foot by 2 foot wooden sign with the look as indicated in the drawing submitted for the meeting.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay,
Okay, Hans, how do you vote?
I vote aye.
Catherine, how do you vote?
Aye for me.
Carol, how do you vote?
Aye.
Justin, how do you vote?
Aye.
And that's an aye for me as well. Okay.
Thank you.
Debbie, for that additional information. Next is 95 Otis Street, Bathing Beach. I think there are a couple of items there. The first one is regarding the fence, and the second one is regarding the sign. So regarding the fence, I think there was some discussion about mainly the material last time, as well as possibly height. I think there was hope to be able to view a sample. However, I understand that the material is such that it's the same material that's being used on the building as it is. So is there anything you want to go over there, Sevi, regarding that?
No, all of the trim on the what's called the beach house now, as well as 6 Station Street, is the same composite material, and is primed and then is painted whatever color you want it. So you're able to see that material. I did try to get a fence sample, and Greg Sarah was going nuts with his supplier and the whole business. But we have agreed that it can be 5 feet high, so it'll be below the windowsills in that elevation. So I was pleased that he felt that would be secure enough, and it'll hide everything, the barrels, the compressors. There'll be 6 inches of electrical panel that'll come above it, but that can be painted out. It's not, I think it's much better to relate to the architecture of the windows. And the detail will be as we submitted initially, so it'll be a substantial fence with, 6-inch boards and a cap and the base trim, and caps on the posts. And it'll be a color to match the trim color.
Okay, thanks, Sevi. So I'd like to open it up to the commission. Any additional thoughts on the material or the height of the fence or any of the other details regarding the fence?
Well, I know the Hassan sign people do a very fine job. They did the sign in front of St. John's Church some years ago, and it's in still very good condition. My only question is the farmer's market sign says today, which is usually on Saturday. Is that going to be removable or is it permanent?
Actually,
Yes, we're actually on the fence.
yeah, if we
but,
could hold on the sign for the moment and let's focus on the fence, and then we can jump to the sign once we get through the fence.
Okay.
You do have that. The sign is prominently up on the Zoom.
Well, it's very, very slick. Yeah, that's Dave Hassan.
So any thoughts regarding the fence from the commission? Catherine?
Yeah, I just I drove by to check it all out, and I walked around the back side of the building, and there is a sidewalk along where the fence would be. So there's the utilities, the compressors, and then there's a little sidewalk. It's just a standard width sidewalk, and then it's grass. So if there was an objection to the fence, and there is a potential for softening it with some plantings on the opposite side of the sidewalk for plantings to soften it, and they could be natural, New England style plantings if needed, if the commission thought that was needed. Just thought I'd add that in there.
Yeah, I would agree. All the site work though is by the town, so I would hope that this whole park would evolve with hardscape and landscape and really become utilized. But there is no room between that sidewalk, and the sidewalk is necessary to wheel barrels as a functional thing as well as a pedestrian.
Yeah, I meant if you're going from the left side of the building to the right side of the building, going towards downtown, on the right side of the sidewalk, there's an opportunity to soften it from the street if it was so desired. But the building is beautiful. I thought the trim was really a nice material. You would not know it wasn't wood unless you really...
You wouldn't know it wasn't wood.
Unless you were rapping on it and picking at it. So I thought it was great, and very excited to have something down there. That whole beachfront looks great. I'm so proud of the town.
Have you eaten there yet?
Nice.
I didn't, but I was tempted by the ice cream.
They're doing awfully well. I had fish and chips one night. They're open till 8. And it's a big time kitchen. I mean, it's really a great asset to the town, and they're doing awfully well.
They have a really nice event space too, so I think that will get used a lot for small parties.
And the rec department's going to use that. And I think they get a lot of use.
Really nice.
But is the defense that the material matches what's on the building? It looks.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, it'll be the same color. It'll same material, same color.
So I thought it worked. I thought it worked great, and would make a great fence. And I like that 5-foot height. It lets those windows shine.
5 foot height. I like it too. It was just peeking over the windows a little bit. But from a security standpoint, that's what Greg first said he needed to have, and then he backed off that. And
I think if it's painted the trim color, it's just going to disappear with the background. So I think it's very
better than looking at barrels and compressors.
Yes.
Which are usually on the roof, or at least the compressors are. So this is a little different as a commercial building.
Okay. Any other thoughts from the commission?
Yeah, you had to get like 6 inches away from that wood valve. It was not the shiny. It's going to be very appropriate if you just replicate what you got for the trim and the siding.
Sure, there's quite a bit of detail in the you see in the photo, and it's a substantial fence, and it's going to hold up a lot better than wood. I mean, the wood would not be. The town would have to maintain it, and wood isn't what it used to be. You talk about cedar, it's all new growth cedar. It deteriorates, doesn't have those natural oils. So it's got to be sustainable.
Came out great, Savvy.
Okay. Would somebody like to make a motion?
I'm going to challenge myself and do my first motion, but I'm going to need some hand holding.
You got this, Catherine.
So I'd like to make a motion for certificate of appropriateness for 95 Otis Street. For proposed fence on the rear side of the Bathing Beach building, to be 5 feet, made of the same material as the trim, painted the same color as the trim.
Could we note in the motion that the minutes or the agenda says 6 feet, and that we do specifically
sorry.
are noting that it's 5 feet?
Good point.
Right.
Thank you. What else do I need to say? I need a lifeline.
No, I think, Sebby, did you say there were caps?
What's that?
Did you say there were caps on the posts?
It's per the image on the original submittal.
Okay.
I think there did have caps.
There's a lot of detail there, and we called out a particular fence design. What we say? Photograph of cedar rustic fence proposed. Cedar rustic is the model number. It's top of the line. Got a lot of detail, but it'll be per that image.
So
And
per
yes,
that
there
image
are caps.
submitted on what date? So I'm kind of lost on the dates on these. Now that we're
It was
On 17th,
the last
August
application.
17th.
okay.
August
Did I miss
17th.
anything?
Nice job, Catherine.
Is there a second?
Second?
Carol, second. Okay, Hans, how do you vote?
Aye.
Carol, how do you vote?
Aye.
Catherine, how do you vote?
Aye.
Justin, how do you vote?
Aye.
And aye for me as well. Okay, and then for the next hearing regarding 95 Otis Street is the sign. I think we had that up on the screen already. It looks like there's a new drawing here from the sign company, which I think is very helpful. Is there anything you want to go? Anything you want to elaborate on regarding the sign?
Well, he's called out. I asked him to, call out the detail of it. So he's got the colors. He's got, 3-inch thick panel painted in Benjamin Moore yellow squash, and engraved lettering painted Benmore Deep Ocean. I mean, come on, so appropriate. And somebody suggested reducing the address 95 Otis lettering. So that was brilliant, and David seemed to have heard that because there it is. So
It was you, Catherine, wasn't it?
I think it was Catherine. So the sign top with the shape to it and the imagery will be 3-dimensional. That'll be carved, and the ocean will be recessed a little bit back of the yellow squash beach form. And then the beach house Good Food to Go will be permanent. That will be painted. It won't be carved. And Farmers Market will be hung. And there'll be other signs like that as events come and go. But right now, that's just we'll have to figure out what Farmers Market wants to say. But that's just the idea. But there'll be attached signs for events below.
I thought the farmers market hours had been moved from 9 o'clock.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think David knew. So we'll check with them.
We'll have to hang up the different version of the hanging sign to change it.
I have a question. Am I muted? No, I'm good. So the posts on either side are a PVC sleeve, and they're painted the white stone. Is that the same color as the trim of the beach house?
Yes, it'll be a gray.
So that it's intended to
Is
be
there
the
a
same
color
color.
given?
Well, it's white stone 2134-60, but I don't know if that's the same.
I'll check that. It's a gray, but I don't know.
So it'd be nice to tie
we'll
those
match,
two
we'll
buildings
match.
together.
Yep.
And then I
Yep,
was thinking
good
even
point.
the tops of the caps maybe the same color as the post, because then
Yeah.
okay, because the little busy detail of the squash and the blue on the top is kind of, I think it detracts from the sign actually. So, and on my other question is the squash, yellow squash, is this kind of color we're looking at here on this image squash, or is this just what he could do with his computer and not representative of the color squash, yellow squash?
It's, colors on the computer don't come out exactly, but I'm not looking at it on the computer, and my printer won't make color at the moment, so it's a very nice gray labeled squash.
Oh, so I'm talking about the face of the sign. I don't know if we're talking about the
Right.
same thing. So it's calling it
Well,
yellow squash, and that's also a kind of a grayish color?
No. Yellow squash is you remember the original sign submittal was colored pencil, and it didn't have a particular name to the color. I sort of mixed ochre and a pink, and but he picked up on that, and
Okay.
I think he knows what he's doing. And
doing a quick Google for yellow squash, it looks quite similar to the images I see it in this sign drawing.
Okay, good. Good job,
Good.
Justin.
good for you. You guys are fast. I'm just on the phone. Yeah, I'm old school, I've been called.
Jen, you had some questions?
And
Justin,
the posts are square. Remember originally I'm sorry, the posts are better square because the signs insert better into the side. It's just all come together better. I don't know how we do them round. I was thinking pier construction, but this is different. So Dave and I talked about this, but they'll be square and you can build them.
All right, go ahead, Ben.
no, Justin beat me to it. He was checking Google the same time I was.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other comments or questions from commission members?
Hey, Stevie, I think the dune grass is very appropriate. Can you put that in there?
Oh yeah.
All right, get the,
Does
we
it-
like
does
the
it have
dune
to-
grass.
It looks like
Does it have to be real?
Yeah,
Can it be
real.
synthetic?
No composite dune grass.
No composite too grass. I'm sure there'll be all kinds of natural weeds, I'm sure, all over the site.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I would like to refer back to Catherine's comment. I don't know if there's consensus about the color of the caps, so perhaps we can discuss that a little
We'll
further.
make them all gray. We'll make them all gray.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simplifies it.
and the gray to match the post to match the building.
Yep.
Okay.
Is there any concern with the PVC sleeves? I completely understand why they're being proposed. It's PVC.
Well, that's really all you can do that will hold up and again, it's the same material. It's called PVC, but it's really the same composite.
Okay. Okay.
It's not
Understood.
pure. It's not pure.
When it says pressure
Shanty.
treated with a sleeve, I'm thinking of that thin,
Oh, right.
No.
You're thinking kind of clad.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not a thin PVC cover.
One last question. So the farmer's market sign will be confirmed with the farmer's market people, and that will also be color coordinated with.
Yeah, it'll be exactly. It'll be the deep ocean background with squash lettering.
Good.
Household words already.
Okay. Any other thoughts, comments, questions? Okay. Would somebody like to make a motion? Okay, I will make the motion.
Jeez.
I would like to make a motion for a certificate of appropriateness for 95 Otis Street for a carved sign based on drawings dated September 22nd, 2020. The sign is largely to be painted wood. Posts are to be 6 by 6 with painted PVC sleeves. And the caps are to be painted to match the sleeves, which are all intended to match the trim color on the building.
Excellent.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Hans, how do you vote?
Aye, please.
Catherine, how do you vote?
An eye for me.
Carol, how do you vote?
Aye.
Justin, how do you vote?
Aye.
And that's an aye from me as well. So thank you, Sevi. I look forward to continuing to go to the beach house. I've been twice, had the fried clams twice. Delicious.
You've got a whole month. Make the most of it. I think he's going to close November. There's one other thing which Justin very astutely focused on last time, which was the temperature of the bulbs in the bollards. And so what I did is forward an order for the 3,000 Kelvin bulbs from the DPW, from J.R. Frey. So that's what we're getting. So I assume they're approved as long as they're 3,000 Kelvin.
Yeah.
Yes, and thank you for the follow-up on the documentation.
Yeah, that's very, very, very wise, because you'll see a lot of that light on the ground. It's going to be a big area of that light. So it's great that it'll be the same warmth.
Good job, Justin.
Excellent, Justin. And he's first time full timer.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sevi.
Okay, thank you. I wish I could have seen you all, but
Oh, well.
We'll see you again soon.
There might be a next
Yeah.
We
time.
look very similar to the last time.
Yeah, we all look the same, yeah.
Okay,
Thanks, Sevi.
great. Good night. Thanks.
Good night.
Aye.
Good night.
So there's one more item on the agenda, which would be Andrea's going to show us a bit about how to access the Form Bs online. I think particularly now, given that Andrea and lots of others are sort of out of the office, we've got the opportunity to access this information at our fingertips. I think similarly to the Google paint color, I think we'll also have the opportunity to do that and reference the Form Bs in the meeting. If in fact, that's something we need to do. So I think Andrea is going to jump in and show us how to get there.
Yes, I hope to. Let's see, I'm going to share my screen, but I don't have anything on it yet. where am I?
I see it.
All right, hang on just a minute. Okay, so what you do first of all is just go to Google and, you know, type in Town of Hingham. And then you go to the homepage for the town. Now, I found it easiest to, let me see, I gotta move this. In the search bar on the upper right, everybody see that?
Yep.
Right here?
Yep.
Mhm.
There. Okay, then what you do is just type in GIS. And it will take you to this screen. And we're going to be looking at the GIS map. It has this following information. All of the stuff I'll show you once we get into it, but it's the online mapping tool. So you click on that. And then you're going to get this screen, which is, it's maps online is what it is essentially. So I'm sorry, I didn't say. So now what you need to do is zero in on the parcel. And you do that by clicking find. And I'm just going to pick a house that I used to live in because I know where that is. So you put in the name of the street. And then you put in the address of the property that you're interested in finding. And the GIS will just go right to it. So this is 597 Main Street. I find it easier to click on this little thing and take the color off of it, or the highlight. So now
What did you click on to make that go?
I'm sorry, this one right down here. This
And
little.
I can't quite see where you're. Oh, you're behind my Zoom.
Oh yeah, you gotta move your
Participants.
Zoom.
There, I see. Okay, now I see.
Okay, got it. So after doing that, then you go to layers. And you'll see there are multiple, I mean, it's very entertaining if you wanna, depending upon what you wanna see. Of course, all our historic districts here, if you were to click on that, this tells us that this is Tower Wilder. So, but we don't need that right now. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. What we do need is, hold on, here we go. Historical inventory, it's right below MBTA. You run right past it if you're not looking hard. So you click on that. And then you need to click on the little I button. Okay. Then what you do is go over to the I button right here. Everybody see that? On your screen. And then click.
Oh, I missed where you were, that last step, Andrea. What did you say?
Okay, sure. What you do is click on this I button right
there.
here. You've already clicked on the one on the layers. And now you're clicking on this one. And then after doing that, you then click on the little icon that's in there, the blue icon.
You click on the one on the map you're interested in.
In your parcel, yes. You see everyone that's in the historic district has a little blue icon. If it doesn't have one, then it's not in the district. All right. Then you'll see down here under historical inventory, you click on that. And do you see down at the very bottom of the detail information?
Form B.
Form B.
A lot of steps, Andrea.
You're
There
really-
she blows. You know what? I can do this. I'll write it out. Okay.
It's okay, but I mean, it's, I'm glad you're walking us through it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you
Yeah,
know.
I think we'll manage. I know I can remember what you walked us through there.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
if I will gladly, I'll print this out. So the instructions are step by step. Would
Yeah,
that
I think
help?
if you were going to print something out, a screenshot with the I buttons maybe circled is probably the biggest.
Now you're making it hard for me.
I don't.
All right.
It would be hard.
I can do
I
that.
can't imagine a text that would say click on the I button on the right.
Yeah, I know. I can do that. I can do that. So the thing is that if you, I don't know, some of you may recall a couple of years ago, Sally Rose Savage, Mary Savage Denham's daughter, did this as a volunteer project. And it was for her, I can't, Sherry, do you remember, was it for her scouting? I think it was.
Was it for the Girl Scouts? Was it the Gold Star
The Gold Star, well, yeah.
project? Mhm.
Yes, I think so. And she worked with Lonnie, our conservation officer, who is responsible for our GIS system. And she went through every single Form B, now we're talking in the 700s, scanned them all, labeled them, and then worked with Lonnie to put them in the right places. So it was really a brilliant effort on her part, and we're very appreciative. So
Hours of work.
have it. Okay, is that okay, everybody?
That's amazing.
I think it's
Great to have.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it is. And now you know that, like, for example, 51 Pleasant did not have, when we pulled up the Form B, did not have the same amount of detail. Some of the Hingham Center ones don't, because that was the last bunch to be in, and I think money ran out.
You know, I can't help but think that the town would love to have more easily, readily access to this information, because it's so
Yeah.
fun to see the history and all the different, scoops on these homes that we walk and drive by every day. It'd be so
Yeah.
nice for this to be accessible.
Yeah, and it really would be wonderful, because I think it'd be helpful for realtors, because they're always calling and asking for information.
Yeah, that, and also just appreciating the
themselves.
richness of Hingham and the amazing history that we offer, and the preservation that we work so hard to steward here. So I think this would be a great public relations tool too.
Great, you're right. Okay, anybody else have anything you want to add? All right, so I will put together something so that you can actually use this little beauty.
Well, thank you. There's a lot of great information there, and just looking at it, all of the other information about the properties beyond that. I mean, there's tons of great information in there.
Yeah, there really is. So, all right.
I mean, there's no much more fun than looking at easements.
Yeah, it is. It is much more fun than looking at easements. So,
And I just noticed I happened to look up 121 Main Street, a house I grew up in. It apparently doesn't have a Form B, or at least it doesn't show up on the GIS.
120.
Maybe one missing.
121.
121. Unless I did it wrong. But I think
Well-
I see the Form Bs all around it.
It's
Did you click on the eye
I did.
and the other eye? And then
the eye and the other eye. Let me
and the third eye?
and I did, and
The
I
eyes.
see the little blue icons for the properties around 121, but not.
Huh, I
Directly
will have
to-
to check on that.
Yeah.
I will do that. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing. And, okay. So it's really not that hard. If I can do it, anybody can.
Don't say that. We do a lot that nobody can do, I'm sure. I'm sure of that.
So anyway, yes, we have a nice, nice tool that we can use. So we have minutes that I did send out like ahead of time. Hopefully everybody read them. I'm getting blank stares.
No, they're good.
They're good.
They're Miss Sherry's minutes.
Okay, would anybody like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
What?
I don't know if I could do that. I don't know how to do that. I need another example. Lead by example, somebody.
Or find the,
I move we approve the minutes. Not complicated.
What's the date, Mike?
that's what I'm looking for.
August, what were they, Sherry? August the,
16.
17?
oh, I think it was maybe the 17th.
August 13th.
That's what I said.
I'll make a motion for you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of August 13th, 2020.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay,
All righty.
all right. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All those
Thanks,
in
Mike.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Good night,
Great
everybody. Thanks for
Good night.
joining
Thank
on the second meeting.
Great job, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Good night, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night.